okay? Help. Please help me. Help.
Please help me. Help. Please help me.
Help. Please help. Keep it going. I'm mixed up, scared to death, don't know where I am. I'm mixed up, scared to death, don't know where I am. I'm mixed up, scared to death, don't know where I am. I'm mixed up, scared to death, don't know where I am.
Help.
I wanna go.
Please help me. Help.
I wanna go.
Please help me. Help.
I wanna go.
Please help me. Help.
I wanna go.
Please help me.
I'm hurt. I'm
Please help
lost.
me.
I'm cold. I'm
Please help
lonely.
me.
I'm
Help.
hurt. I'm
Please help
lost.
me.
I'm
Help.
cold.
Please
I'm
help me. Help.
Help!
Please help me.
Help!
Please help me.
Help!
Please help me. Help.
Please
Please
help
help
me.
me.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you about Emilou, and there are so many things I'd love to tell you about, but I thought I'd focus on the story of my relationship with Emilou, and there's a lot I could say about her, but I'm selecting just a few things that stand out to me. I started work as an activity director at a skilled nursing community called Brookside Retirement Community in 2006, 2 days after I got my master's degree in drama therapy from Kansas State University. Had no idea what I was doing, really, truly did not know. And it's an advantage to be the new kid on the block because you have eyes that see things that people have stopped seeing, and you hear things that people have stopped hearing. And I remember one particular day, I don't know whether I was arriving at work or leaving, I really don't know. I had a purse on me and my coat, and I could hear that, help! Help! Okay, just constant. And I could see all these available caregivers and folks standing around, walking, doing their business, and completely deaf to that noise. And I was just baffled, befuddled, thinking, what? I mean, why isn't anybody rushing? You know, rush. The word is help. Okay, so I rushed into her room, and here's Emilou, this 88-year-old stereotypical nursing home shouter, laying in her bed. I found out that she had been diagnosed with polio as a child. She had a piece of furniture fall on her when she was 4, so she had some learning disabilities. She dropped out of high school because she was called cripple and teased and just didn't fit in. She was never married. She had kind of a very low-key job at the state building. Outlived her family, lived in a nursing home for the last 17 years of her life. And the few friends that she had stopped visiting her because she no longer recognized them, so they figured, what's the point? And then her durable power of attorney was her third cousin, who would come to visit her once a year because she was actually older than Emilou. She was 91, something like that, and could only really make one trip a year. So Emily, for all practical purposes, was somewhat forgotten. So with that background, here I step into her space, and I lean into her with my purse draped and kind of dangling from me, and she grabs my purse, and pretty soon I am like cheek to cheek like that, and I said, what's the matter, Emilou? And she said, I want to die. I heard her shouting from her bedroom. Help was all she'd ever say. And yet that word would go unnoticed, repeated often through the day. The ones who cared for her were busy attending to the other needs. And yet her cries drew me right to her. She grabbed my arm and then she pleaded, I wanna die. I want to die. Bury me in the pasture, bury me somewhere, anywhere. I'm an old maid, I'm in pain, I'm alone, I miss home, there's no purpose for me. Could you please set me free, 'cause I wanna die. I wish that I could be like others. I always wanted a best friend. I really want to go to heaven. Could we bring this to an end? 'Cause I wanna die. I want to die. Bury me in the pasture. Bury me somewhere, anywhere. I'm an old maid. I'm in pain. I'm alone. I miss home. There's no purpose for me. Could you please set me free? 'Cause I wanna die. So I felt really inadequate at that moment. I had not received any real dementia communication training, and just a little bit of validation, Naomi Bell technique. But so not knowing what to do, I said, Emilou, have you ever felt lonelier than this? She said, no. I said, Emilou, do you feel this way because you never had a husband? And she said, I didn't want a husband. I wanted a best friend.
Oh.
I said, you know what, Emily? I could use a best friend too. You know what? How's about, you know, I gotta run, but I'm gonna come back. And how about you and I spend some time together just hanging out? Would you like that? I would like that. And so that was the beginning of our friendship that lasted over 2 years. She was very aware of her memory issues. One time I invited her to come and join me with a group of residents to play pitch. Now I knew she could not play pitch, but I wanted her just to come and be a part of our gathering. So I said, Emilou, if you don't have anything on your schedule, all I got is time, you know. So come sit with us. We're going to be playing pitch, and I just love for you to be with us. Is that all right? Of course. So she sat at the table with us, and I held her hand with one hand, and with the other hand played pitch. Now this was going very well, and every now and then she would interrupt with her usual interruption, which was this. She would say, I hope I'm not in the way, am I? Is it all right that I'm here? And of course we'd all say, I'd say, everybody, it's great that Emilou's here, isn't it? Oh, yes, yes. And all of a sudden she makes this announcement. I couldn't believe this. This was the most profound thing. She says, lost and found. You might find me in the classifieds. I hope that you find me alive. Oh. Well, anyway. And she had this look on her face like, I get it. So I didn't want to forget that, and so I put it together, and these are all words and phrases that in my friendship with Emilou I could recall. So. Lost and found, dead or alive. You might find me in classifieds. I don't know where I should go. Right or left, I never know. Till you arrive. Till you arrive. Well, I'm gone. I'm dead. You know I hate to spend another minute lying in remember being in one part of the building, and I was overseeing the activity life of over 70 residents, and I could hear Emilou, "Help!" over and over again. I'm far away, so I can't rush her. I'm like, "What the heck? What?" And all of a sudden she says, "Does anybody around here know what the word help means?" So I left that part of the building, came running to her, and I said, "Emilou, what's the matter?" She said, "I hurt." Well, the homemaker in the kitchen says, "Well, she refused her meds this morning." I said, "Emilou," knowing that she'd probably already forgotten that she refused her meds, I said, "Emilou, hey, you know what, man, there might be some good meds for that pain. Would you be willing to give it a try?" "All right." So I wheel her down to the charge nurse who produces the meds for her, and then she says, "I'm hungry." I said, "Okay, well, let's go back down the kitchen." And I say to the homemaker, "Well, now Emilou's hungry." And the homemaker says, "She refused her breakfast this morning." I said, "Well, she's hungry now." So she says, "Emilou, what would you like for breakfast?" And Emilou says, "I'd like a pancake." She says, "All right, Emilou, I'll whip it up in a jiffy and I'll get it for you." So in the meantime, I had to figure out what to do with Emilou. So I wheeled her into my teeny weeny little office next to the dining room, and Emilou's still in a little bit of pain. So we did the usual, things. I realized that I'd come to realize quickly that she was a musical dictionary. She grew up with a Bill Branson piano. She knew everything, and so we would sing school days, and one of her favorite songs was "I had a dream, dear, you had one too. Mine is the best dream 'cause it's of you." The homemaker comes in with pancakes and syrup and everything, and so at that point I had been trained as a CNA by this time, so I was allowed to feed her because I had this training. Anyway, so I'm sitting there in my teensy-weensy little office, and I'm feeding her one fork full of pancake after another. After several minutes, she makes an announcement. She says, "I'm having the time of my life." My heart just melted. I thought, I am too. Now, I wrote a song about it, but I only have 18 minutes, so. Okay, I'll sing one tiny line. I'll just a little bit, okay. Having the time of my life with you. I'm having the time of my life. I'm having the time of my life. I'm having the time of my life. That's why I didn't sing it. It says the same thing. Since we've been together, I've been feeling better.